Stop pretending you have time. You don't. Most people believe change is slow. They wait for the new year, for Monday, for a sign from the universe. But here's the truth. Time is not the problem. Decision is. Someday is the sweetest lie you've ever swallowed. Someday keeps you trapped in the same dusty room of your past, surrounded by broken furniture and an old song that plays on repeat. And I'm here to call you out. Stop waiting for someday. You don't need more time. You need 7 days. 7 days to strip off the worn-out coat of your old identity. 7 days to open the windows, sweep out the dust, and let new air fill your lungs. 7 days to cut habits that are bleeding you dry, to reclaim your mornings, to command your presence, to build systems that never let you slip back. And yes, especially on day 1, you will burn the chains of your old self. By day 3, you'll rewrite the voice in your head. By day 6, you'll build a structure that carries you when motivation dies. Look in the mirror. Do you see just a face or do you see a story? That reflection isn't skin and bone, it's a script. And the question is, will you keep playing the same broken record or will you dare to compose a new one? Stay with me. This is not theory. This is the blueprint to become unrecognizable, even to yourself. Are you ready? If the answer is yes, grab a piece of paper right now and write down the first chain you'll break. Day 1, cut the old self. Stop feeding the ghost of who you used to be. Every morning you hit snooze, every excuse you whisper in the dark, every time you scroll to escape your own thoughts. You're breathing life back into that ghost. And here's the brutal truth. The old self doesn't want you to grow. It wants you to stay exactly where you are. Comfortable, predictable, weak. Day 1 is not about addition. It's not about setting 100 new goals or buying a shiny planner you'll never use. Day 1 is about subtraction, cutting, shedding. Imagine your old self as a heavy, torn coat. At first, it kept you warm, but now it's soaked with rain, ragged at the edges, reeking of smoke. You've been wearing it for years, and it's dragging you down with every step. Today, you take it off. Today, you burn it. A close friend of mine, Jonas, he was bright, ambitious, but trapped in his own circle of excuses. One night he sat down and wrote them all out. I don't have time. I'll start when things settle. I'm not ready yet. Line after line, his lies filled the page. Then he walked outside, struck a match, and watched the paper curl into ash. He told me later, it felt like my first sunrise in years. That fire wasn't just destroying paper. It was destroying permission. Permission to stay small, permission to delay, permission to betray himself. That's what you must do today. Grab a sheet of paper, write down the one habit, one excuse, one voice that has poisoned you the most. Don't make a long list, just one. The one you know in your gut is killing your self-respect. Then destroy it, tear it, burn it, shred it, bury it, make it physical so your body remembers the act. Why? Because transformation doesn't start when you stack new habits. It starts when you cut the rot. A garden doesn't flourish by adding more seeds on top of weeds. It flourishes when the weeds are ripped out. Your identity works the same way. And when doubt whispers, it's not a big deal. Recognize the trap. That tiny whisper is the exact habit that has stolen years from you. Don't negotiate with it. End it. Today is a funeral, a quiet burial of the version of you that settled for less. But it is also a birth, the beginning of the self who refuses to live in chains. So I'll ask you directly, which chain will you break today? If your answer is yes, don't wait another hour. Take the paper now, write it down, destroy it. Let this be the last day your ghost breathes, because the old story is already dead. The only question left is, will you dare to bury it with your own hands? Day 2. Rebuild your body. Your body is not decoration, it is declaration. The way you move tells the world how much you respect yourself, and more importantly, it tells you. Think of posture. A bent spine whispers defeat, even before a word leaves your lips. A dragging step convinces your own mind that life is too heavy to carry. And day after day, your body confirms the story your spirit already fears. I am not enough. Years ago, when I was at my lowest, I slouched through every day like a shadow. Kai, the man who once found me broken, looked at me without judgment, but with piercing eyes. He simply said, "Straighten your back before you straighten your life." At first, it felt like nothing, just posture. But the moment I lifted my shoulders and filled my lungs with air, something inside shifted. For the first time in months, I felt taller than my despair. Today you begin the same transformation, not by chasing six-pack abs or sculpting yourself for vanity, but by moving with intention. Walk like you have somewhere important to be, even if you're only going to the kitchen. Breathe like every breath is fuel, not just survival. Stand like the ground belongs to you. This is not about becoming a fitness model. This is about breaking the cycle of sluggishness. The Stoics understood this well. Seneca exposed himself to cold not because he had to, but because he knew the body trained in hardship becomes the mind trained for war. Voluntary discomfort was their discipline, their secret weapon. So today, choose one act of discomfort. Take a cold shower. Do push-ups until your arms tremble. Walk faster than your thoughts. Stretch until your body resists, then hold the pose a little longer. These acts are not punishment. They are reminders. Reminders that you are alive, that you are stronger than the cravings, that you can command yourself. Think of your body as armor, not armor to hide behind, but armor to step into. Every deliberate movement polishes that armor until the reflection staring back at you is no longer the ghost of defeat, but the warrior of rebirth. Here's your practice. Before the day ends, stand in front of a mirror, adjust your posture, plant your feet, look yourself in the eye, and ask, do I carry myself like someone who respects this life? If the answer is no, fix it right there. Don't walk away until your body speaks a new truth. Because discipline doesn't begin in the mind. It begins in the way you move through a room, the way you take up space, the way you breathe when no one is watching. So let me ask you now, will you drag the same tired body into tomorrow? Or will you step forward like a man or woman on a mission? If your answer is yes, start today. Drop to the floor. Do 10 push-ups. Lift your chest. Breathe deeply. Reclaim the body that has been waiting for you all along. Day 3. Upgrade your mind. Your mind is the command center of everything you are becoming. But here's the danger. Most of us are running on old programs, written years ago by fear, failure, or someone else's opinion. And if you don't upgrade those scripts, you'll keep living the same day, replaying the same broken record, even inside a brand new life. I once met a woman who looked unstoppable. Her career was polished, her reputation flawless. Yet one night over dinner, she confessed, "Every morning before I even leave the bed, the first voice I hear says, 'You're going to mess it up again.'" She had money, status, admiration from others, but inside she was shackled. And the chains weren't her boss, her family, or her past. They were her own thoughts. Let's pause here. Imagine your mind as a person sitting across from you. If they spoke to you the way you speak to yourself, would you trust them with your future? Would you let them lead your family, your career, your destiny? Or would you fire them on the spot? That's the reality. Your inner voice can be your greatest ally or your deadliest enemy. And the longer you let it whisper unchecked, the more it scripts your posture, your decisions, your very identity. The Stoics understood this well. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Hardship was never the true enemy. Reaction was. So today, begin rewriting. Hunt down the weak phrases you repeat. I can't. I'll try. Maybe later. Each of those words is a leash. Replace them instantly with commands of strength. I will. I am. It starts now. Speak them out loud until your own voice believes itself. Think of your thoughts as an inner garden. Leave it unattended and weeds of doubt spread everywhere. But if you tend it, pulling lies out by the root, planting seeds of clarity, soon it grows strong enough to feed every part of your life. Here's your practice. Carry a notebook or open a note on your phone. For one day, every time you catch yourself thinking something weak, write it down, then immediately flip it into power. I don't know how. I will learn. I can't focus. I will give my focus 5 minutes now. Do this until your mind learns a new rhythm. Don't underestimate it. The thoughts you train today become the actions you take tomorrow. The actions you repeat tomorrow become the identity you live for years. So let me ask you, what's the one sentence your inner voice has been using to chain you down? And if you're ready, will you flip it right now, out loud, until your entire body believes every word? Because remember, the voice you train today becomes the life you walk into tomorrow. Day 4. Command your presence. When you step into a room, you are already speaking, long before a single word leaves your mouth. The question is, what story does your body tell? Do you arrive like a shadow that slips unnoticed into the background? Or like a presence that tilts the air itself? Presence is not arrogance. It's not loudness, nor a performance. It's quiet certainty, and certainty is magnetic. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be." B1 presence isn't about pretending, it's about embodying. I once watched a man with little formal authority change the entire dynamic of a meeting. He didn't raise his voice, didn't rush his words. He simply sat straighter, waited for silence, then spoke in deliberate sentences. People leaned in without realizing it. His power wasn't noise, it was weight. Here's the pause I want you to feel. Think about the last time you entered a room. Did the energy rise, or did it remain untouched? If you're honest, most of us drift in unnoticed. But presence is a decision, a chosen frequency. And when you shift it, people sense it in their skin before their ears. So how do you command presence? Start by cutting, not adding. Eliminate nervous laughter, restless fidgeting, filler words that water down your strength. Replace them with deliberate stillness, with pauses that carry weight. Silence, when owned, is louder than noise. Here's your practice. Tonight, stand in front of a mirror. Straighten your spine, lift your chin, lock eyes with your own reflection until you feel discomfort, and then keep holding. Then speak one line with full conviction, I belong here. Repeat until your voice no longer shakes, until even your body starts to obey. Presence is also energy. Walk as if every step has direction, even if it's only toward the kitchen. Speak slower than your nerves demand, because control is more powerful than speed. And never forget, people may lose your words, but they will never forget how you made them feel. So let me ask you, when you walk into your next room, will you carry the presence of the old self, hesitant, shrinking, or the presence of the new self, grounded and undeniable? If your answer is yes, then tonight, make the mirror your training ground. Tomorrow, step into the world as though the ground itself adjusts to your arrival, because presence isn't what you show, it's what you are. Day 5. Relentless action. Knowledge is everywhere. Motivation is cheap, but action, that's the rarest currency of all. Think about it. How many people do you know who can talk for hours about their plans, their dreams, their next big thing, but never take a single step? They live in the land of someday, trapped in endless planning, analyzing, fantasizing. I call it paralysis by preparation. They look busy, they sound convincing, but when the lights go out, nothing has moved. I had a close friend who dreamed of writing a book. For 10 years, he described chapters, characters, even the cover design. Every coffee we shared was another detailed plan. One evening, I stopped him mid-sentence and asked, "Show me the first page." He froze. He had none. 10 years of talk and not a single word written. His dream had turned into a prison of theory. Here's the danger. Dreams without execution rot into regret. Knowledge without action is just clutter in the attic of your mind. You don't need another podcast, another plan, another pep talk. You don't need the perfect moment. You need to move. Now pause for a second. Imagine yourself 10 years from now. Which dream will be rotting in your drawer because you kept waiting for conditions to be perfect? Which page will still be blank? That silence you hear, that's the sound of time slipping. The Stoics cut sharper than any modern guru. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You should not discuss what a good man is. You should be one, stop talking, start doing." So here's your challenge. Within the next 24 hours, take one action you've been delaying, just one. The email you've been avoiding, the workout you keep postponing, the conversation you fear will be uncomfortable. Don't make a list. Don't wait for courage to appear. Just move and complete it before this time tomorrow. If you need humor to shake you forward, imagine your life as a movie. Right now, are you the hero stepping into action, or the side character trapped in endless monologues? Heroes act, extras just fill the frame. Which role are you going to play? Relentless action doesn't mean perfection, it means momentum. One step becomes two become 10, and suddenly you're building a streak of victories that theory alone could never give you. So I'll ask you directly, will you let another day DC in endless planning, or will you finally break the cycle? If your answer is yes, then prove it. Within the next 24 hours, finish the one thing you have been running from, because your future doesn't wait. Why should you? Day 6. Build systems. Motivation is smoke, systems are steel. If you build your life on feelings, you will rise and fall with your moods. But if you build on systems, discipline carries you even when inspiration dies. I learned this the hard way. There were mornings when I sat in my workshop staring at a blank page, waiting for the spark. I told myself, when the energy comes, I'll begin. Hours passed, nothing. Kai once looked at me and said, "You don't need a spark, you need a structure." Those words hit like a hammer. I realized I had been a slave to moods, not a master of systems. Here's the truth. Your future doesn't rise to the level of your goals. It falls to the level of your systems. Seneca wrote, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." And preparation isn't a feeling, it's a framework. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't ask yourself if you feel like it. You just do it. Imagine if your workouts, your planning, your focus were as automatic as brushing your teeth. That's the power of systems. They turn battles with willpower into quiet routines that no longer need negotiation. Here's the pause I want you to sit with. How many hours of your life have been wasted? Not because the work was too hard, but because you spent all your energy deciding whether to start. Decision fatigue kills more dreams than failure ever will. Systems erase that fatigue. Let me admit something funny. When I first tried building routines, I resisted. I laughed at myself and thought, am I becoming a robot? But here's the irony. Systems didn't steal my freedom. They gave me more of it. Freedom isn't doing whatever you feel like. Freedom is knowing the important work gets done no matter what mood shows up. So here's your practice. Tonight, design tomorrow. Write down your top 3 priorities. Set your wake-up time. Lay out your clothes. Reduce tomorrow's decisions into tonight's structure. Do it every evening until it feels strange not to. And remember this Stoic twist. Epictetus taught, first say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do. Systems are that bridge. They're the do that anchors the be. So I'll ask you, will you keep gambling your future on moods that vanish with the wind? Or will you build steel rails that carry you even in the storm? If your answer is yes, then before you sleep tonight, make one simple move. Write down tomorrow. Because moods drift, systems remain, and the person you're becoming deserves a foundation that never cracks. Day 7. Seal the new identity. 7 days can bury an old self. But if you don't seal this new identity, the ghost of who you were will come knocking again. The mind loves the familiar. It whispers, come back. Rest here, stay small. That's why today isn't just about change, it's about permanence. I once knew a young man who struggled with procrastination for years. He tried alarms, apps, pep talks. Nothing lasted. Until one night he took a blank sheet of paper and wrote a declaration. From this day forward, I will never betray myself again. I will rise early. I will keep promises. I will live with strength. He signed it, dated it, pinned it above his bed. Every morning it stared at him. Every night it judged him. And slowly that piece of paper became more powerful than motivation. It became identity. This is your moment to do the same. Don't just feel the change, lock it in. Write your own manifesto, 1 page, clear, raw, alive. Who are you now? What will you never tolerate again? What standards will you never betray? When you write it, you're not wishing for transformation. You're declaring it. The Stoics practice this too. Epictetus taught, first say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do. Day 7 is your vow, the closing ceremony of your old self and the coronation of the new. Here's your practice. Before today ends, write your declaration. Pin it where you'll see it daily. Read it in the morning like a warrior sharpening his sword. Read it at night as your silent report card. Let it guard your new self when moods waver. Pause with me for a second. Look back at these last 7 days. You cut the old self. You rebuilt your body. You upgraded your mind. You commanded your presence. You acted relentlessly. You built systems. And now you are standing on the edge of permanence. So I'll ask you directly, will this week fade into a nice memory, or will you seal it into your bones as the foundation of who you are? If your answer is yes, then tonight, take the pen. Write your vow, sign it, date it, let it outlive your doubts. Because the old story is gone, the new one is alive, and it is you. 7 days, that's all it took. 7 days to strip away the excuses, to rebuild your body, to sharpen your mind, to command your presence, to act relentlessly, to build systems, and to declare a new identity. You are not the same person who began this journey a week ago. But let me be clear, this is not the finish line. This is ignition. The old self has been buried, yes, but the new self is still fragile. Every choice from here will either water this new seed or starve it. I remember standing in Kai's workshop after my own first 7 days. My hands were blistered from labor, my mind exhausted from fighting my old patterns. I told him, I feel different, but what if I slip back? He looked at me and said, don't call it slipping back. Call it training forward. Every stumble is still part of the path. That one sentence freed me. 7 days had lit the fire. What mattered next was feeding it. So where do you go from here? You repeat. You stretch 7 into 14, 14 into a month. And soon it's no longer a challenge, it's who you are. People will notice your walk, your voice, your energy. Opportunities will come, not by luck, but because of how you show up. And the greatest reward will not be their approval. It will be the pride of looking in the mirror and seeing someone you finally respect. Here's your practice. Tonight before you sleep, look back at the last week. Write one line in your journal that sums up your transformation. Then write one line about who you'll be in the next 7 days. Small, simple, but powerful. That's how momentum grows. And now, the final question. Will you let this just be a nice week? Or will you carry it into the rest of your life? If your answer is yes, then keep moving. Don't look back. Don't explain yourself. Let your presence be the proof. Your old self is a ghost. The only question, will you let it haunt you or bury it today?